The order block is the last, take note of this, the order block is the last bearish candle before a bullish displacement. Vice versa, the order block is the last bullish candle before a bearish displacement. Hi guys, welcome to Pips Dojo. I'm glad to have you on this channel once again. Briefly, we'll be talking about the concepts of order blocks. Okay, it's one of the most important and most common, factors or parameters that every trader should have concrete understanding of in the financial market when doing your technical analysis. Okay, so but before that, if this is your first time coming across this channel or any of my videos, right, you can just do us a a good one by subscribing to our channel, by liking the videos, by sharing to your friends, to any trader right, that you think this video could be helpful to them. That is really much appreciated. All right, so let's dive right into order blocks, right? Okay, what are order blocks specifically? Oftentimes traders just throw the word order blocks around, and we know a little about it, but then we do not really know how to maximize order blocks. Okay, now remember, in this video, or take notes, I'm not trying to predict the market direction right now, right? So I'm just talking about order blocks generally and what will make an order block to be an high probability order block, or what would make it valid or invalid. Okay, and how to pick the right ones basically. So the first thing you want to know is what order blocks are. Order blocks are simply specific zones in the market where it is believed that institutional orders are resting. Okay, where institutional orders are resting on the price, on the technical display of price, is believed to be the order block. Now another way you can identify the order block is this. The order block is the last, take note of this, the order block is the last bearish candle before a bullish displacement. Vice versa, the order block is the last bullish candle before a bearish displacement, and it is the last what bullish bearish candle before a bullish displacement. Okay, let me say that again. The order block is the last bearish candle before a bullish displacement, and the order block is the last bullish candle before a bearish displacement. Alright, so vice versa. Okay, now the first thing you want to know when picking your block is the structure. You want to make sure there is a structure you're looking at. Okay, considering this, let's just work with this. This is a structure, and this structure right here is a bullish structure, and then I also have this mini structure. Remember, I said I was not working with price direction. I'm just trying to show you the concept of order blocks, how to pick the right ones. Okay, this is the bearish structure, and this is a a mini correctional bearish one, right? So let's mark out the blocks here. As you've seen, I've marked out an order block right here, right? This is also an order block, this is also an order block, right? This is also an order block. Okay, the last bearish before the bullish displacement, and the last bullish before a bearish displacement. Okay, so all right, very good. I just remembered one more thing: unmitigated. So now let's talk about the things that makes the order block valid or invalid, that increases the probability of order blocks, right? Let's talk about this first, right? For an order block to be valid or to have higher probability in displacing price, you should watch out for the fair value gap. If an order block has a fair value gap, it increases the probability of that order block, right? It must have an imbalance, right, for you to consider it an high probability order block. right? Just as this one, you see there is an imbalance here, right? In case you do not know what an imbalance is, right, I'll be making a video on that. It is simply the gap between, three successive candles. All right, the gap between three successive candles. I'll be making the video or a video on that very soon. So to talk more on that, this is also an order block, and it has a mini fair value gap right here. This is also another block. It has a bullish fair value gap right here that later got filled. Okay, now so all these three other blocks, even this, but the fair value gap is not completed yet, right? So but the first thing, make sure it has a fair value gap. The second thing, you want to watch out for the extreme order blocks. Now this is a bullish structure, as I've already said. Which is the extreme? This is the extreme order block, right? This right here is the extreme order block. Now the third thing, you want to make sure the order block is an engulfing candle, right? What do we mean by the engulfing candle? Now I said an order block is the last bearish candle before a bullish displacement. This is a bullish structure, so we have a bullish displacement, right? Now the last bearish candle is this, which I marked as the order block, right? So what do we mean by the engulfing? The first or the following bullish candle should totally cover the whole body of that bearish candle. Not the whole body, but it should close above the last bearish candle, just as this did. So it made it what? An engulfing candle, right? If an order block is an engulfing candle, it increases the probability of that order block. This is an engulfing, this is an engulfing, this is an engulfing, right? I'm on 4 hours, so things are quite clear, right? If you go to the lower time frames, you see a lot of other blocks even within each of these other blocks, right? Other blocks can be used as pure high. Let's take note of that, right? So that's that. Another is for an order block to have liquidity. Okay, liquidity, this is very, very important. Take note of this. We have several kinds of liquidity. We have the inducement, we have the engineered liquidity. you know you have to be very familiar with the kinds of liquidity and how to spot them easily on the chart for yourself. So your order block, of course, has to align with structure. Okay, has to align with structure. I am seeing a bullish structure right here. I won't come and be picking bearish order blocks, of course not, right? It's just not plausible that way. Okay, if you are in a bullish structure, you want to go for bullish order blocks. If you're in a bearish structure, you want to go for bearish order blocks. And then the last but not the least on my curriculum right here, the order block should be an unmitigated order block. What do I mean by mitigation? It means it has not been tested before, it has not been touched, right? You can see this order block. As price touched it after forming? No. Okay, you can see this order block, price is currently there right now, and that's price being there is the first touch. Okay, you can observe this whether it will work. Okay, then this order block, it has already been invalidated now. All right, now this is also another order block that I marked, a bearish order block. Okay, and if you can see this bearish structure right here, it's a correctional structure, right? You don't want to really take that. Okay, unless you get other solid confirmations that price is probably turning bearish. So there are other blocks all around the chart. There are other blocks. This is an order block as far as there is a structure to it. Okay, that's an order block. And there are other blocks. Okay, I saw something now. So let me just talk about. There are other blocks that are not necessarily the last bearish before the bullish, and that are not necessarily the last bullish before the bearish. There are other blocks that will take the nature of that will be a bearish candle before a bearish displacement. Okay, so this one right here can be picked as another block. This candle right here can be picked as another block. Why? It has a fair value gap, it has a good structure. Okay, so there is more to the other block, but first you want to know this, right? But those are rare cases, but first you want to know this. You want to know this. Take note of all this that I mentioned: the imbalance, the extreme, the engulfing, the liquidities, the structure, and the mitigation. Okay, you want to take this into account, and if you take this into account with the right proportions, with the right structure, you have less chance. With the right confirmations, you have less chance of getting stopped out. Remember, I said less, not totally. Okay, so you have less chance of getting stopped out. That's how to pick, and that's how to watch out for the right order blocks when trading live markets or even your demo accounts. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful. In my other videos, I'll talk about the breaker blocks, the fair value gaps and all very soon. Just stay glued to the channel, and you can go through the videos and see anything that you might need to use to spice up or catalyze your trading. Alright, it's been good having us. Thank you so much for this time. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.